Gigi Hadid is speaking out on the Israel-Hamas war. The Palestinian Dutch-American supermodel took to Instagram on Tuesday to address the devastation. She began, "My thoughts are with all those affected by this unjustifiable tragedy, and every day that innocent lives are taken by this conflict, too many of which are children. I have deep empathy and heartbreak for the Palestinian struggle and life under occupation. It's a responsibility I hold daily. I also feel a responsibility to my Jewish friends to make it clear, as I have before, while I have hopes and dreams for Palestinians, none of them include the harm of a Jewish person." Gigi continued, "The terrorizing of innocent people is not in alignment with and does not do any good for the Free Palestine movement. The idea that it does has fueled a painful, decades-long cycle of back-and-forth retaliation, which no innocent civilian, Palestinian or Israeli, deserves to be a casualty of, and helps perpetuate the false idea that being pro-Palestine equals anti-Semitic." She concluded her post with these words, "If you are hurting, as I share my condolences today with my loved ones, both Palestinian and Jewish, I'm sending you my love and strength, whoever and wherever you are. There are a lot of complex, personal, and valid feelings, but every human deserves basic rights, treatment, and security, no matter their nationality, region, ethnicity, or where they were born. I know my words will never be enough or heal the deep wounds of so many, but I pray for the safety of innocent lives, always." Gigi's message comes 4 days after Hamas militants launched surprise attacks on Israel, firing rockets and infiltrating the border. The Israeli military in return fired airstrikes into Gaza, and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu later declared in a televised address to Israeli citizens that, quote, "We are at war." Amid the violence, more than 1,000 people have been killed in Israel, and more than 920 have been killed in Gaza as of Tuesday, according to NBC News. President Joe Biden said Monday that 14 Americans have died in the war, and that they believe, quote, "It is likely that American citizens may be among those being held by Hamas." In addition to Gigi, many stars have spoken out amid the war. Madonna wrote in part on Instagram, "What is happening in Israel is devastating. Watching all these families and especially children being hurted, assaulted, and murdered in the streets is heartbreaking. Imagine if this was happening to you. It's unfathomable. Conflicts can never be resolved with violence. Unfortunately, humanity does not understand this universal truth, has never understood it. We live in a world ravaged by hate." Mark Ruffalo wrote on Instagram, "Concerning the tragic events unfolding in Israel and Gaza, I am grief-stricken for the unspeakable suffering and loss of life and loved ones. This horrific violence must end. I have no answers, obviously, but I feel it is absolutely necessary to focus on our shared human existence and reality. The sanctity of our common humanity will hopefully serve to heal the unimaginable wounds of division." Natalie Portman wrote on Instagram, "My heart is shattered for the people of Israel. Children, women, and the elderly have been murdered and abducted from their own homes. I am in horror at these barbaric acts, and my heart is pounding with love and prayer for the families of all affected." Octavia Spencer wrote on Instagram, "I pray for the safe return of all hostages and peace." And Katy Perry wrote, "Peace for all children."